Hey guys, Grimble here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out Vinland Saga Episode 5. Last episode was a really good one. It was really cool to see Thor's just let loose, go nuts on these guys. I mean, for the most part, let loose. He still didn't draw a sword, still didn't kill anybody in the end, which was impressive. It was unfortunate to see Thor's go the way he did, filled with arrows, especially right in front of Thorfinn. But I kind of saw it coming, of course. It had to happen. This seems like Thorfinn's journey. This is his story, and it had to happen for him to begin his journey, I believe. Yeah, last we saw with Thorfinn, he was on one of the boats that was trailing behind all the gang of mercenaries that were there to kill Thor's, and he's just enraged about what happened to his father, which is understandable, but he seems to be really out for vengeance, wants blood, and it's gonna be interesting to see what happens once they reach land and he gets that ship. They kind of let him be, said he'll probably just die on his own. Obviously, that's not going to happen. He's going to survive, may even impress them, and that's when I think Askeladd, I believe his name is going to take him, Thorfinn, in under his wing and actually train him. At some point, I believe they're going to get past that. I think Thorfinn's sort of anger and aggression is going to be redirected from Askeladd to Floki, who was the one that ended up ordering everything to happen in the first place. So that's my prediction, at least, going into this episode. And with that being said, let's get started with Vinland Saga Episode 5. If you guys are interested in signing up to my Patreon, you'll be able to take advantage of ad-free content, 3 to 4 weeks early access to all reactions, which for the middle tier and above can include the full-length watch-along reactions. Those that subscribe to the highest tier will also be supporting my game and animation studio, Little Grim Entertainment. You'll have access to a sneak peek look at all of our upcoming games and animated shows. I wonder how long it's been. They're not giving him anything, are they? Some rainwater, at least? I hope that's rainwater. Maybe not. It's not. England.
So who's watching the ships? We won't be here for long.
He's doing it on purpose. He's letting him get out there and get something to drink and eat. Ooh. Slippery. I hear a stream. Yeah, you gotta take care of that other problem now. Oh shit.
Get up! Let no one escape. We don't want any rats.
2 off to the right.
Ah. Wow, damn. Part of me hopes he doesn't actually join up with them. Risky. To be a little more quiet than that. That's a big sword for him. Can't do it, can you? His father really did get to him. Was he awake that whole time? Oh.
What's the matter? Did you have some trouble sleeping?
Sorta. A gnat was buzzing around. We left a survivor?
No, it's the boy. Remember? The troll of Yamsa.
Oh, is he still alive?
I must avenge my father! I'm challenging you to a duel!
You should have beheaded me in my bed last night.
My father taught me better than that.
You fancy yourself a warrior, do you, kid? All right, I accept.
Poor kid. It's a lot heavier than it looks.
You're supposed to swing the weapon, not the other way around.
Oh.
We've both seen confirmation of the kill.
We brought your reward.
We were given a question to ask you also.
Which is?
How were the final moments of the Troll of Yam's life?
Honorable.
Nothing special. He
Man.
died, just like we all do.
Oh, you're still alive? Well, you look like pig dung, boy. Eat this. What's his problem? Thought we were only being nice.
These guys.
Damn it.
Oh, those aren't the berserk. Okay. Thought he was gonna grab the berserk mushrooms. Poor kid. Oh no.
He died an honorable death.
There's nothing anybody can do about his death. And crying's only gonna make you hungry.
Was not expecting that reaction from her.
Alright then, better get to work.
What the hell?
I'll find Thorfinn. I swear I will. No matter how long it takes.
Are you sure that you're alright? I'll definitely be a lot busier with all the men gone.
Her defense mechanism? Holy shit. So she's got her father's strength.
How are you feeling?
Good. Much better than I have been. Let me help you. You don't need to do
No. I can handle it. Just stay in bed.
Really is pushing herself.
Cheer each one of them when spring comes around. Busy day. Think we could really use some help around here. Maybe I'll get myself a husband.
Some of those boys will
Let's get some
be willing to take up that job.
Oh, you go on ahead. I need to finish this first.
She's gonna break at some point.
But it's so dark in here, you can't see your hands. That's enough for now.
She's putting on a facade.
No, I'm almost finished. I'll be fine. I'm not that tired yet.
I'll kill him. I swear. No matter.
Build up the strength.
You've been working hard.
You!
Tell me,
He's got those mushrooms.
use that thing yet? Sorry, you're just too much of a weakling.
It's rough. This must be torture for that poor kid.
Hey, found the boy out in the forest.
Did you? He's still alive, is he?
He's got the blood of the troll in him. I don't think he'll die that easily.
Never alone.
You're supposed to swing the weapon, not the other way around.
Still alive? Wow. Ooh. Yeah. Surprised it was alone. Train. Rabbits are pretty fast. He's training himself. I wonder how long this is, how much time is transpiring right here. 'Cause didn't they say they weren't going to be there long? I guess in those days, not long could be like a couple of months.
We stayed longer than expected.
Okay, there we go.
Much better for it. That village was more comfortable than I thought.
Someone's coming.
I am the son of Thor's, Thorfinn. I'm challenging you to a duel.
God, he's relentless.
Tell you one thing, the boy has guts. I want to see you fight him, Askeladd.
I suppose I have no choice. I, Askeladd, son of Olaf, accept your challenge in the name of
Olaf.
Odin. On your feet.
Ugh.
Isn't this a duel?
That's enough, don't you think?
He's gonna throw it.
Dead before long.
Impressive though.
Think I've had enough. Let's call it there. I take no pleasure in murdering children.
Seems like he's done that a bit.
I'm not finished.
I don't have time for this.
Hey, wait! I haven't lost yet! Fight me! You'll die for what you did!
Prove yourself on the field of battle.
I like the arrows that point down on that sword.
Right?
Pointy end is this way.
And I'll reward you with a proper duel.
There you go, motivation.
I have your word on that.
Of course.
This feels like a Zoro Mihawk situation. One Piece fans will know what I'm talking about.
I'll prove myself. And when I do, I promise I will kill you.
Alright, so maybe my prediction was off. He doesn't take him in and train him. Alright guys, so we just got done with Vinland Saga episode 5. It was a really good episode. Another character building episode centered around Thorfinn and his journey to avenge his father's death. And he was very determined young boy to see it through to the end. And his first encounter with Askeladd did not go over very well. Was knocked out instantly. And when he woke up, he was able to find some water, get a drink, get a little bit rejuvenated, realize he was hungry, but couldn't really do anything about it. He searched the forest for things, found some nuts, didn't enjoy them, didn't go over very well. Eventually sees the burning village and goes to witness what these men are doing, and that they're just terrible people for the most part. But for some reason, and it wasn't just Askeladd that was sparing his life, it also seems to be that I think his name is Bjorn was taking a bit of liking to him as well, and decided not to harm him, even though either of them could have taken him out in an instant. Part of me felt like he would eventually warm up to these guys and realize that maybe Floki was the ultimate enemy and that Askeladd would actually take him in and start training him to be a warrior and, see some potential in him or something like that. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Instead, at the very end, we got a sort of Mihawk and Zoro moment where he basically says, look, kid, I see you've got drive, I see you've got potential, but you're not there yet. I am a mountain compared to you, and if you want to come even close to me, you need to train. You need to get better. You need to get stronger. And if you do, if you're able to get strong enough to pose a viable threat to me, I will give you that duel. I promise. And Thorfinn knew that that was his only chance to take him on, is to accept that challenge. And so it seems like the way forward is actually Thorfinn's going to be out on his own, training himself somehow to be a better fighter, to work on his own skills, and eventually overcome Askeladd and defeat him in a duel. We also saw what was going on back home at his village. His mother and sister were, of course, informed of the death of Thor's, and his sister didn't really take it as expected. I guess she sort of shrugged it off right in the moment and said, let's get to business. Well, the men are gone now. Those men are gone now. We have to stand up. I got to do more. I got to take on more chores. I got to take on more responsibility. No time to mourn, no time to cry. I just got to get to it. And I had a feeling it was sort of her defense mechanism, her way of just dealing with tragedy instead of instantly breaking down. And it makes sense because she seems like a very strong woman, and she's from a very, very powerful bloodline in her father. And so she's just a stubborn probably, and didn't want to show the weakness of breaking down and crying. But just like it happens to most people that hold that back in, eventually it all comes out at one point or other. And that's what we saw with that moment. She was weaving and her mother came in and told her, it's okay, you can stop, you need to just let it out, sort of thing. I think her mother could tell, Helga could tell, that she was really, really wanting to grieve and wasn't letting herself do it. And so it was a nice little moment where she just was able to let it release in private, and I think she'll be better for it going forward. Now, clearly, we don't seem to be done with her yet. I get the feeling that there's going to be more to her own story. Maybe there's even a parallel sub-story where she goes out maybe to find Thorfinn and becomes a warrior in her own right, because she also seems to have that Thor's strength within her, clearly. We never really saw it before, but this episode, they purposefully showcased that. She picked up these very heavy-looking barrels full of water or something. I can't remember what it was. And much to everybody around her surprise, they're just like, I can't believe you can do this. This is insane. So the fact that they focused on that and spent a little time with her tells me that they're probably going to have some sort of evolution of her story going forward. So as I sort of expected from the first episode, especially knowing that my friend Alex Lee eventually voices Thorfinn's character, I assumed there was going to be some sort of time skip eventually. So I think we're coming up to that soon, and Thorfinn's going to age, and he's going to have been training himself that entire time. So I'm sure at some point soon we're going to be seeing a much stronger version of the character as he's continuing on his journey to avenge his father's death. And I am sort of glad that they didn't end up doing what I was predicting, where he was going with Askeladd's group and ended up warming up to them and training under him or anything like that, because those guys seem like terrible dudes. So, especially seeing what they did to that village and the people and the women there, I mean, obviously that is very much what Viking lore is. You hear about that all the time. They rape, pillage, and murder and all that. So it's not surprising that I saw that, but as a kid witnessing all that, I don't know that I could warm up to people like that and forgive them for not only killing my father, but witnessing them doing these terrible things to these people. So in the end, I'm glad that he's sort of out on his own. It still has this goal of one day seeing this group again and getting his vengeance. It'll be curious to see him along this journey, though, because his father was very against that mentality of vengeance. You know, he was somebody that wanted a peaceful life, didn't want to kill people, didn't want to hurt people. And so it'll be a little sad to see that his son has taken up vengeance as his motive for going forward, for getting stronger, for becoming a warrior, right? Because it's going to make him turn out to be a very different man than his father in a lot of ways, if that's what he holds close to his heart, if that's what's most important to him, is getting stronger just to murder this guy. But of course, there's still a lot of story to tell, I imagine, so maybe that is his motive right now. Maybe over time that shifts and he's not as dead set as killing and getting his revenge, but at the same time, I'm sure this series eventually culminates to that battle between the two of them. And what will he do in that moment? My guess, the way stories tend to go, is he'll get to that moment and he'll spare Askeladd's life or something like that, because that's what his father would do, and he would realize, hopefully in that moment, that his journey to avenge his father's death just purely on vengeance is not what his father would have wanted. But we'll see. I'm way ahead of myself, obviously, so I don't even know if that story's been written yet. There's still a lot to go. With that being said, it was a really fun episode, guys. Please don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so you can get updated as I release new episodes. Check out some of the other content I have. I have a few other shows in the works right now. We have Solo Leveling, we have My Adventures with Superman, and I'm doing what I call an analyze and compare for One Piece, the live action version on Netflix. I've already seen most of the anime, almost completely caught up. So I'm doing a comparison of each of the live action episodes and comparing it to the anime itself and what differs, what did they cut, that sort of thing. Also check out my Patreon page. A lot of great perks on there, things like ad-free content, full-length reactions, and also access to some of the behind-the-scenes look at my studio content, Little Grim Entertainment. We have a couple projects in the works, so if you're at that tier, you'll get to see some of the behind-the-scenes works of those projects. And with all that said, guys, it's been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next reaction.